I can see some chilies. Ooh.
Reach out and find your goals.
Oh.
Reach out and find your dreams and to never give up on it.
Tortilla Soup itself is a comfort movie.
Thirsting and delicious, so enjoy it or provecho.
Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Film and Flavor. I'm Zain Hassan.
Hello everyone, I'm Ahmed Zayani. Today we're cooking a very classic Mexican dish, which is Sopa deTortilla, and it's inspired by the famous film Tortilla Soup.
Tortilla Soup is one of my favorite foodie films. It is an American comedy drama that tells the story of three daughters and their semi-retired chef father, and the star of the show is certainly the Mexican cuisine.
Tortilla Soup is a very tasty dish. Both the soup itself, the thick, flavorful, and delicious soup, and the movie, Tortilla Soup, which is also one of my favorite films of all time, and I am sure it's one of your favorites too. We will enjoy both of them here today. Now, Zain, how excited are you?
I am very excited. I'm a huge fan of Mexican cuisine. How about you?
I absolutely love Mexican cuisine, and I am a huge soup guy myself.
Wow, that's nice to hear.
I think it's gonna hit the spot. Soup is my comfort food. And I think Tortilla Soup itself is a comfort movie.
It is a very comforting movie. I like how they focused on the dynamic of the relationship with the three daughters have with their father. I think that's very important. It's very, I guess, not many movies nowadays focus on that aspect.
The film does have that multi-generational aspect to it. And it feels real, it feels authentic. Because for a lot of us, that's something that we would go to deal with our parents, with our elders. Like how you're able to struggle with that hurdle of a generational gap. Because at the same, you might be family, but you will still speak two different languages, so to speak.
Yeah, like the way that the daughters interact with their father, sometimes that kind of relationship can be complicated, but the way that they presented it in the film, I thought was a beautiful way of kind of showcasing how it can not always have a very happy and bright side to it, but there are also some negatives that come along with it, and that's the part of, I think, every relationship that you can have in life. There are many ups and downs to those kind of relationships.
How long are we gonna wait this time?
Maybe she got stuck in traffic.
Tu sabes que Maribel walks home from work?
English or Spanish, one or the other. All right, soup isn't meant to be served cold.
And at the same time, it's not what I would call toxic. Because there might be some differences there, some more so than others, but there is still that kinship, amongst family members. Being able to understand some, even though you can't really fully appreciate their predicament.
Yes.
I think that's something that is lost in today's films, because if it was presented today, I think a movie would be slanted one way or another.
Yeah.
Rather than have this point of view where it doesn't really say that you're wrong and you're right. We both can have different opinions, and we both can be right as per our situation.
Please cut the Spanglish.
I think I may have met my destiny today.
I thought you were mad at her.
Why don't you mind your own business?
When are you gonna grow up?
When everybody gets off my back, that's when.
Come on now, come on. This is not how we behave for dinner. We honor dinner, we have good manners, and we have pleasant conversation.
Well, I have a little announcement.
Exactly. I think, in my perspective, uncomfortable talks are a doorway to healthy relationships. And so that's, I think, the way that they portrayed the three daughters' relationships with their father. you know? Even though they have some ups and downs, they manage to get through them by, you know, talking and, you know, just expressing their feelings with their dad, and that kind of opened the doorway for a healthier relationship.
Absolutely. And what's cool is that it's not just limited to the relationship between the father and the daughters, because each of the daughter does have her own struggle as well. And that itself dictate how their relationship with the father goes ahead in life.
Yes.
And I do think that we might not have had a resolution for all three narratives by the end, but that's how life is, right? You don't always have that happy ending. You don't always have something that's finite.
Exactly. That's just the way that life goes.
In Tortilla Soup, food plays several roles. We all know that food itself represents the identity and culture of each person. I remember that the opening scenes showed the father character, Martin Narajo, played by the legend Hector Elizondo, grilling cactus and peppers, creating a colorful feast for his family.
Yes, Ahmed. The chef, or the father, in this film is presented as the protector of traditions, although he long ago lost his sense of smell and taste. Martin loves his daughters, Carmen, Leticia, and Maribel, played by Elizabeth Pina, Tamara Mello, and Jacqueline Obradors. Perhaps he does not always understand their life choices as each one is trying to find herself and what is missing in her life. Yet, he wants them close, where he can cook for them all the tasty dishes. And I think that, as in many other food films, food shows love the power of bringing people together and facilitates communication among them. Now, let us see how Chef Ali Yusuf will play Martin's role and cook Sopa deTortilla.
Hi everyone, I am Chef Ali Yusuf, and today's recipes is a favorite of mine. To prepare the soup today, I've got pasilla chiles, I've got tortilla, I got avocado, and also this avocado is diced today. Could be sliced, thin sliced. We got chopped tomatoes, parsley, cheese, cream. I've got chicken stock there. Garlic, onion, and oregano. Of course, oil and water needed. To start off, going to put vegetable oil as much as needed because we're going to fry the tortillas. And the oil is preheated. Now we're going to put gently the tortilla. Don't burn it. Could be very quick. It's an easy. Now look at it, it's beautiful brown. And we repeat that for the rest of the tortillas. You need to have a paper towel on your pot or plate. Why? Because you need to drain out the oil out of it. Fry the chilies. Make sure you just brown them, don't burn them. And here it's ready, brownish. Before we go on, let's put vegetable oil here too. Let it heat. Since that heating, let's bring the blender. On our blender, we're going to add the onions. Garlic, tomatoes, you've got chilies, 2 of them, bit of oregano, And that's it. We're going to blend it. Get back to you shortly. Right, our sauce is ready. Gently put it under the pot. Now we're going to add water. You need like 4 cups is fine. Right, but we're going to add the chicken stock. Stir it a little bit. Put parsley leaves in there, just 1 sprig, we don't need much. Bringing that to boil. Then when it starts boiling, then we put it on a medium heat. We leave it there on a low heat for 15 minutes. The plating, I'm going to take the chili, just slice it small. Fifteen minutes is almost over. While waiting for the other few seconds or a minute, like that, let's start putting the tortilla on the plate. Let's place it like that in a bowl, small bowl if you have at home, or right, and discard the parsley as it's not needed. You can keep it as an optional for yourself, but the original recipe, no parsley. Wow, this looks amazing actually. That's it. And now I'm going to garnish it with some chilies. And some avocados. Some cheese. And you have optional Camber cream. If you don't have cream, it's fine. It's not necessary. Bringing the food and the film together create an experience both interesting and delicious. So enjoy it, or provecho.
Welcome back. Thank you so much, Chef Ali Yusuf. And as you said, we are here to create and enjoy an experience that's both delicious and interesting.
And this does look delicious and interesting, doesn't it?
It really does. Are you a fan of avocados?
I love avocados.
Same. God, we're on the same page.
We need to find a movie where they serve guac.
Yes.
We need to get Chef Ali to make us guac, right?
Yes.
Tableside.
Yes.
Good.
All right.
You want to dig into this?
Yeah. Let's give it a try.
I actually see some chilies. Ooh. You're okay with spicy food, right?
Yes,
Good.
I do. I'm not very picky, so.
Okay. Actually, you know what? This is actually a nice burst of flavor.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually a very beautiful and meaningful dish because coming from a movie that talks about a chef who's so passionate about doing what he loves doing in life that he never gave up on it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the moral of the story for the film. It's to always reach out and find your goals, reach out and find your dreams, and to never give up on it. Even through hardships, hardships will come and go.
Sure.
But you just always have to kind of keep pushing forward and just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
That's another movie that hopefully we'll talk about. But I do agree with you. I think that there's also a point to talk about in the sense that you don't have to walk the road that has been paved to you by other people, or you shouldn't really follow what others would expect from you.
That's what Martin did,
Yeah.
Even though after he lost his senses, he paved his own road,
Mm-hmm.
He went his own direction. That's truly inspiring.
True. And his daughters weren't held onto following in his footsteps. Like they each were able to manage to do their own thing and realize their own dreams and ambitions. Maybe even accept their limitations in that sense.
Exactly. So they all had their own dreams and their own passions, and that was also inspiring in a way.
Mm-hmm. This could have easily been a drama, something that's very heavy-handed, very
Chaotic.
emotional.
Yeah.
But it is heartfelt.
It's very heartwarming, very homey, very cozy.
Mhm.
Like that's mostly like the entirety of the film is just like heartwarming, wholesome moments between a father and his 3 daughters.
And even when you do bring in the additional characters that do present a certain amount of chaos into the narrative, it doesn't take away from the bond between all of them, right?
Yes, it doesn't.
It doesn't. I mean, the whole film just presents itself as wholesome, as hearty, as this soup. What do you think is a hindrance on the movie? Like, why do you think it's more popular nowadays with the audience?
The father's relationship with the 3 daughters is so realistic to how it is in our modern day world that it kind of connects with a lot of people on a level that they didn't even know they could connect to it. I hope I'm making sense.
You're saying that this film is filling a void that other films aren't able to fulfill nowadays?
Yeah.
And maybe I think that does harken true, because if you think about it, there is this resurgence in films from the 90s, 80s, whatnot, getting more attention today, especially of this ilk, of this variety. And what I love is that in a lot of them, be it something like Runaway Bride or Pretty Woman and whatnot, you always find Hector Elizondo front and center.
Yes, he was the front and center of every 90s rom-com for some reason.
You do realize that the director of Pretty Woman insists on having him in every single one of his films.
Really?
Even if there is nothing for him to play, he would create a walk and roll just for him.
Wow, that's nice.
It is.
Kind of like the Cillian Murphy of Christopher Nolan.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That is a wonderful collaboration. This unusual version of tortilla soup is rich with an intriguing roasted corn flavor, vibrant with color and tasty, tantalizing aromas. Now, I see why it has such a central part of the movie's soul. The crisp tortilla strips are the key, I guess. They add a nice texture contrast to the rich, smooth broth.
It's very delicious, wonderful, thick texture, and it has very great flavor. And as you said, Ahmed, perhaps the chicken added some extra smokiness to the soup that made it really tasty. You know, my favorite scene is when the three sisters sing a Spanglish version of Perhaps, Perhaps, Perhaps by Lila Downs.
Oh, was that the scene where they were breaking the plates?
Yes.
I think? Oh, that is a really cool scene. That is actually a really cool scene.
No. You won't admit you love me, and so how am I? No, you only tell me. Perhaps. No. A million times I ask you, and then I ask you over. You only answer. He says.
Thank you so much for tuning in, as always, and of course, a huge thanks to Chef Ali Yusuf for this incredible Mexican dish.
Yes, thank you so much, Chef Ali, for today's dish. Tortilla soup shows us how meals are never just about eating. They're about love, caring, and happiness. This brings us to the end of another episode of Film and Flavor. We will see you next time with another movie and another dish. Until then, keep cooking and keep watching. Who knows, your favorite film's dish might be next. Goodbye.